At the start of a painting, I like to build the foundation by using gesture. This is the blocking stage. At this stage, I am just focusing on the bigger abstract shapes. When I'm painting realism, I treat everything like an impressionist, where everything is made out of abstract shapes. Shapes of color, value, and chroma. My goal here is to find the right placement for these shapes. In the art academies, I learned how to observe and memorize the anatomy and structure of things, how light works, and how to do perspective. When I discovered painters like Sargent, Zorn, and the world of impressionism, I learned to get into a state of mind where I do not think of anything as an object. There is no nose or face. It's just shapes. After discovering this way of painting, I no longer have to learn how the anatomy of a cat works to be able to paint a cat. If everything is just shapes of color, then we can paint anything, anywhere, under any type of light. And that's the power of impressionism. But I still value what I learned in my academic training days. And I think that learning the fundamentals is a very important thing. What I'm doing now is also called optical painting, and I will be making a video about that sometime in the future. Before we start the stylized painting, I wanted to tell you guys why I started this channel. I am a classically trained artist in academic arts. I've been painting and drawing for over 20 years, and my work is all representational and traditional. However, I do preliminary sketches and paintings on my iPad, and when I thought about making a YouTube channel, I didn't want to just focus on what I do in my studio. I wanted to make it entertaining and interesting.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Like I said, I studied academic art. Now I am graduating from art school where I studied studio art, graphic design, and illustration. Now, before doing stylized for the first time, I have previously done one series of stylized art because I wanted to test it out, and these are some of those paintings. For this channel, I will be presenting myself as a representational artist who tries to do stylized and anime art. And with every stylized painting, I will try something new every time to keep things more interesting. Now let's get started with this stylized painting and see what happens. Same thing, I begin the painting with gesture to find my placement. And even though we have a reference, we don't have to rely on it. In this video, I'm going to change this painting from the reference quite a bit. You know what? This reference is distracting. Let's try different here. And you'll see me add and remove things. I find it very helpful to introduce something new to a painting to see if it works. If not, then we can always remove it. I think we have to be brave enough to mess up our paintings and add something we might regret. That's the only way to find something that might actually work. I do not have a plan. I am making completely random decisions to see what works and what doesn't work. I find that with stylized art, and especially if you are just using one constant style, it's all experimentation. You try something and see if it works. If it does, you may keep it for a future painting. If not, then you remember to avoid it in the future. I wasn't expecting it to turn out the way it did. I can't say that I am happy with it, but I think that it was a fun challenge nonetheless. In the end, we have two paintings, very different paintings, but they both started out from the same inspiration, where the realistic painting explores emotions with the brushwork and the fact that it looks real, even though it's not. It already makes us feel something. And we are supposed to feel something when we look at art. And since we feel that we are looking at a real thing, realism wins. But what about stylized art? Now, I have my own opinions, and I will say this right now. I think that all art is stylized. But we'll get back to that someday in the future. This stylized painting is clearly very different from the reference. And I understand that stylized doesn't mean that you have to make the artwork different than the subject, but it happens, and it happens in both realism and stylized. It's bound to happen because we are human beings and we cannot replicate things without being ourselves, which is great because we're making art, not a product. I think with stylized art, since things are exaggerated, you can't help but feel something. Stylized art wins as well. In any event, I feel pretty happy with this video, and I will keep making more videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, to help my channel, me, and my work, kindly leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share it. Many thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.